please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so it's time for another episode of Hit or Miss, where I look at NHL teams' draft picks, first round draft picks from 2005 through 2015, and determine if each pick is a hit or a miss. Today, continuing along with the Pacific Division, we're going to be talking about the Anaheim Ducks. Before we start, I just have to ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you are new, and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, as those really help out the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. So let's get into it here, starting in 2005, where the Anaheim Ducks were selecting second overall, and with that pick, they took right wing Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan has gone on to play 833 games in the NHL, scoring 254 goals, 301 assists for 555 points and a +2 rating. This pick is a hit. Bobby Ryan has had a very long and successful NHL career, now plays for the Ottawa Senators, still playing in the NHL, and will continue to add to these numbers. Second overall, I don't know if he necessarily became the superstar that you're hoping for when you pick second overall, but there's no doubt he's been a very good top six forward. And again, over 800 games played, over 550 career points. This pick is a hit. 2006, they selected 19th overall, and with that pick, they took defenseman Mark Matera. Now, you might not know the name Mark Matera because he ended up playing 0 NHL games. He did not touch the NHL ice, played 0 games. He did play in the minors for a few years, in the AHL and the ECHL, and then he went over and played in Europe, but he never played a regular season NHL game, and obviously that pick is a miss. In 2007, they selected 19th overall again, and this time took forward Logan McMillan, who also never played an NHL game. He played in the minors, in the AHL, in the ECHL. He's gone over to Europe and has played in Europe, most recently in the United Kingdom, in the EIHL. But he never played in the NHL, and obviously, once again, first round draft pick, never even played in the NHL. Obvious miss. 2008, they selected 17th overall in the NHL draft, and with that pick, they took defenseman Jake Gardiner. Yes, that Jake Gardiner. Now, Gardiner never played for the Anaheim Ducks, but he has gone on to play 619 NHL games, scoring 49 goals, 220 assists for 269 points and a -15 rating. Obviously, he's best known for his time with the Toronto Maple Leafs, playing a long time with Toronto, and now moving on to the Carolina Hurricanes. But he's still in the league, still a regular in the Hurricanes lineup, and this pick at 17th overall is definitely a hit. Gardiner, while he never played for Anaheim, certainly has put a nice NHL career together for himself. In 2009, the Ducks had 2 first-round draft picks, the first one coming 15th overall, in which they selected center Peter Holland. Now, Peter Holland went on to play 266 games in the NHL, scoring 36 goals, 49 assists for 85 points and a -38 rating. This is a bit of a borderline one, but being picked in the top 15, you're really hoping that that player becomes at least a regular in an NHL lineup, even if it's just a depth player, at least an NHL regular. And Peter Holland has spent a lot more time in the minor leagues than he ever did in the NHL. I'm going to say miss on this one. If this was a second-round pick or a third-round pick, then I think that would have turned out okay. But picking Peter Holland in the 15th overall and having him play less than 300 career games, less than 100 career points, that pick, never being really more than a fourth liner at the NHL level, that pick is a miss in my opinion. They picked again 26th overall, and with that pick, they selected right wing Kyle Palmieri. And this one, obviously, is a huge hit for a late first-round draft pick, as Palmieri has become a fantastic goal scorer in the NHL, now playing with the New Jersey Devils. 561 games played, scoring 175 career goals, 163 assists for 338 career points and a +2 rating. Palmieri now one of the top guys on the New Jersey Devils offensively, a consistent 20 goal scorer year in and year out. Could possibly reach 30 some years. Palmieri's become a really, really good top 6 winger, and that is an obvious hit. In 2010, they once again picked twice in the first round, with the first pick coming 12th overall, where they took defenseman Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler is still on the Anaheim Ducks, still a huge top 4 piece of their defense, and an obvious hit with this pick. He's played 679 games, scoring 67 goals, 234 assists for 301 career points and a -50 rating. Fowler, still a huge part of that team and a huge part of that defense. Obviously a very good career and still continuing for Cam Fowler. They picked again at 29th overall, and with that pick they selected right wing Emerson Etem. And Edom went on to play 173 games in the NHL, scoring 22 goals and 24 assists for a total of 46 points and a -7 rating. Edom never really became a regular in the NHL lineup. He was often up and down between the AHL and the NHL. He spent more time in the AHL, so for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and say miss on this one, as he only didn't even play 200 games, not even 50 points at the NHL level. For a first-round pick, that's nothing outstanding or anything, so I'm going to say miss on that one, as Edom was a much better minor league player than he was ever in the NHL. Moving on to 2011, they selected 30th overall, and with that pick, they took another right wing, this time Rickard Rakell, and boy, has this turned out to be a huge hit for the Anaheim Ducks. 447 games played, 129 career goals, 154 assists, 283 career points, and a -2 rating. Rickard Rakell is still on the Anaheim Ducks. He's one of their best goal scorers, if not their best goal scorer. Huge piece of their top 6 now and will be going forward. Rickard Rakell is a massive hit at 30th overall. In 2012, they selected 6th overall, and with that pick, they took defenseman Hoppus Lindholm. Lindholm has played 502 NHL games, scoring 50 goals, 143 assists for 193 points and a +75 career rating. Hoppus Lindholm still in Anaheim, in their top 4. Hugely important defenseman for them. This pick was a massive hit as well, as he has become a big piece of their defense core and looks to continue to be going forward. In 2013, they selected 26th overall and once again took a defenseman, this time Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore has gone on to play 264 career games, scoring 36 goals, 93 assists, 129 points, and a +14 rating. He currently plays for the Vegas Golden Knights. He broke into the league with Anaheim, but then went to Vegas, and he's become, especially this year, over the past couple years, a huge piece of the Vegas Golden Knights defense core, a top 4 defenseman for them. He's still very young, obviously, being drafted only in 2013. He's still young, really just growing into his prime in the NHL, and Shea Theodore was certainly a hit at 26 overall. In 2014, they selected 10th overall in the first round, and with that pick took left wing Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie has gone on to have 294 games at the NHL level, scoring 44 goals, 67 assists, 111 points, and a +12 rating. He is no longer on the Anaheim Ducks. He is now on the Boston Bruins. And this one is very borderline for me. This is a tough call, hit or miss on Nick Ritchie, because Nick Ritchie, yes, he's in the NHL. Yes, he's a regular and now in the Bruins lineup. He's a good power forward. He's a good secondary scorer. He can chip in offensively, but he definitely hasn't lived up to being a 10th overall pick. If this was a late first round pick, then no doubt this is a hit, no brainer. But in 2014, the Ducks definitely could have done better at 10th overall than Nick Ritchie. And he's turned out to be a good depth player, a good secondary scorer, and a power forward who can bring some physicality to the lineup. But is he really worth a 10th overall pick? I'm going to say probably not at this point. And for that reason, I'm going to say that this one is a slight miss. It's very borderline, but I'm going to go slight miss on this one. Ritchie, you know, he's still young. Obviously, he's still developing and still growing at the NHL level. He could turn this around and maybe become a more impactful offensive player. And if he turns into a year in and year out 20-goal, 40-point guy, then maybe this pick becomes a hit. But right now, he's not that. He's more of a third, fourth liner and kind of just a secondary scoring power forward. And that, I think, is probably a miss with a top 10 pick. You could have gotten more value there at 10th overall. And finally, 2015, they selected 27th overall. And with that pick, they took defenseman Jacob Larson, who has now become a regular over the past year and a half in Anaheim's lineup. He's played 113 games, scoring 2 goals, 14 assists for 16 points and a -14 rating. And this pick is absolutely a hit for a late first-round draft pick. He's already become a NHL regular for Anaheim this season. And he looks to be an important piece of their defense core going forward. So he looks like a really good young defenseman for the Ducks. And I'm going to say that Jacob Larson is a hit at 27th overall. So there we have it, guys. Hit or miss Anaheim Ducks version. And that's going to do it for this episode. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon and merchandise store are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.